Welcome to VSB News Online for this, the last day of the year, Wednesday, December the 31st. I'm Charles Webb. The most crucial budget in the history of the OBA government is only 3 months away. But Finance Minister Bob Richards took the time to meet with VSB News' Brian Darby in his office today to go over the highlights of the past year and the challenges of 2015. The first question, how are things looking?
It's not easy. I think we've done pretty well this year. All of the numbers aren't in yet. We still have another 3 months to go. But it's not looking too bad insofar as our expenditures are concerned. I think our revenues have pretty much been tracking as we expected. Next year, remember we have a 3-year plan for expenditures. Minus 7% the first year, which is the year we're in. An additional minus 5% next year. An additional minus 3% the third year. I think next year is going to be very challenging insofar as our budgets are concerned. We're in talks with unions, and we're looking at all aspects of the budgetary process to come up with something that works for us. We've got to spend extra money for America's Cup over the next 3 years, and so we have to find that money somewhere.
Unexpected, of course.
Well, it's expected now. It was unexpected before, but it's part of it's going to have to be part of our budgetary process. It's something that we're happy to do because we think America's Cup is going to be great for Bermuda, and it's going to be good for government revenues too. But we have to spend the money first. I think that this current year is going to be challenging, or this year coming up is going to be very challenging from a budget perspective. One thing about this budget process, it forces you to make decisions. We're here to make those tough decisions. There may be things that take place that are unpopular. There's a lot at stake with this budget process. There's a lot at stake. And people have to understand that the government budgets are not just about the government, not just about government workers. It's about the whole island. Our credit rating determines the credit rating of a number of our financial institutions. They cannot have a higher credit rating than the Bermuda government. So if we get downgraded, they get downgraded. People have to understand that these dots connect. And so that's why this budget coming up, at this point in time, with the kind of environment that we are facing as it relates to international business in particular, is crucial. It's really crucial.
If cabinet ministers can make resolutions, then the Minister of Home Affairs, Senator Michael Fay, has affirmed his. After a few stops and starts this year, he told me during a wide-ranging interview that 2015 is going to be different.
We have a number of exciting initiatives that we're working on, say with planning, where we are going to be looking to give the Director of Planning enforcement powers, much like we did with the Chief Immigration Officer relating to immigration, where what we'd like to see happen is the Director of Planning can basically have that enforcement power for people who breach planning rules and regulations. At the moment, the process of enforcement is incredibly cumbersome. It's ignored. A lot of times people are not prosecuted perhaps the way they should be prosecuted because it's just such a long and drawn-out process. By giving the director specific powers to do enforcement, that should actually help the enforcement process tremendously.
Now, would that speed up the whole planning process?
It will certainly speed up the process in respect of the enforcement. We've done a number of exciting things in the past year to speed up the planning process itself, where applications are being turned around very quickly indeed, even through very simple things like not accepting incomplete applications at the desk. That's changed things very much indeed. We are continuing to look at the processes as how they operate internally. We have a tremendous board that meets very regularly to get applications through, up and running, because we see the planning department as a department that helps facilitate growth in Bermuda. Obviously, if you have a successful planning department that's getting the applications done quickly and fairly, that means jobs, that means economic growth.
Speaking of jobs, the immigration also comes under your remit. Are there any new plans for that area?
Well, we know with work permit policy, I'd hope to have that out December 1st. In fact, it's coming out today, and it will be in force as of the 1st of March. But we're rolling it out today as the final version so people can start to understand it, read it, get themselves set up over the next couple months for launch day on the 1st of March is when it comes into force.
Now we've got plans for hotels, and dare I mention America's Cup again,
Yes.
but nonetheless, would some of these plans help to facilitate these people in their plans to build a hotel and to hire local and both foreign staff?
Absolutely. One of the things that we have consistently been saying is that it's important that everybody gets opportunity through the America's Cup. So as it happens, we have obviously the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation falls under this ministry, and they're going to be doing a lot of work out in the community to talk about the kinds of business opportunities that are available. Workforce development through the National Training Plan Part 2 will also make a number of areas very clear about where opportunities may arise for Bermudians.
And we'll be back with more news right after this.
The Marketplace Food Court is you and your family's one-stop shop. Start your day at the Breakfast Bar with omelets made to order and traditional Bermuda codfish breakfast. The chefs will cook lunch and dinner to your liking. Along with the salad bar, sandwich bar, sushi bar, and fruit bar, the Marketplace Food Court is your kitchen away from home. Every day is hassle-free with nutritious meals from the Marketplace Food Court. Visit us 7 days a week. Homemade cooking, quality service, all at prices you can count on.
Two people from the old town of St. George have been named in the Queen's New Year's Honors List. They are the husband and wife team of Richard Dudley Sperling and his wife Jane Youngblood Sperling, both of whom were awarded Queen's certificates. VSB's Chris Lodge has the story.
Both Mr. and Mrs. Sperling were honored for their service to Bermuda, Mr. Sperling for his work in St. George's and St. David's, and Mrs. Sperling for her fundraising efforts. Mr. Sperling has served the East End for his entire life, including a 5-year term as a Member of Parliament and Government Whip. Until his retirement in 2005, Mr. Sperling was a partner attorney for Appleby Global and provided pro bono legal advice for St. George's and St. David's residents who were unable to afford professional services. Mr. Sperling also serving as a member of the Race Relations Council, chairman of the Rent Control Advisory Panel, president of the Chamber of Commerce, chairman of the Bermuda Hospitals Board, and president of the Mid-Atlantic Hospitals Foundation. Mrs. Sperling, meantime, was honored for her tireless work raising funds for the Bermuda Hospitals Trust over the past 18 years, which has helped to not only secure the funds for the new hospital wing, but also purchase new equipment for the hospital. Since 1996, Mrs. Sperling has emphasized the need for Bermuda to have a first-class health facility and has lobbied to ensure that goal is achieved. I'm Chris Lodge, VSB News.
And in sports, we have the Director of Sports outlook for 2015. Football could get more than $1 million from FIFA, and the New Year's Day finals are set. Earl Baisden has the details on these stories and more in today's sports report.
The Bermuda Football Association will wait patiently as a bonus from the world governing body, FIFA, could go into funding the country's programs for 2015. Recently, FIFA announced that a one-off financial contribution of $1.05 million will be made next year to each of its 209 eligible member associations, in addition to the first $250,000 bonus already made available. It means that each association could be given as much as $1.3 million of a one-off payment over 18 months. The overall FIFA bill for this comes to $271.7 million. However, we caution that members have to meet FIFA's requirements to become eligible for the lucrative payout. Staying with football news. The Orange Bowl Sailing Regatta in the Biscayne Bay in Florida concluded with Bermuda sailors making the podium. Aiden Lopes won the Optimist Green Fleet after 12 races with 66 points, while Mikey Woolman finished third in the Laser 4.7 fleet. The 2014 Aon Benfield Fecchio Cup continued at the Port Royal Golf Course yesterday, where Walker Campbell continues to lead the 16 to 18 age group Blue Division after a second round 81 for a two-day total of 156. Campbell leads Sam Waymeyer, who is in second place, by 16 strokes. Waymeyer shot a second round 88 and has a two-day total of 172. Elizabeth Parsons is in third with a two-day total of 178 after her second round of 92. The battle in the 13 to 15 age group white division sees Michael Mee leading by 2 strokes over Alex Mason. Both players shot second rounds 87 just today. Meeing has a two-day total of 164 and is followed by Mason's two-day total of 166. Dakota Lamb shot 91 to end the day in third with a two-day total of 177. Kenny Lejeune will take a comfortable 18-stroke lead into today's final round in the Red Open group after shooting a second round 90. He has a two-day total of 164. Alex Withers Clark is in second place after shooting a round of 88, and he has a two-day total of 182. Joe Watson is in third with a second-day round of 93 and a two-day total of 186. Parsons leads the ladies division with 178, while Vanessa Chichern is in second with 216. 5 Somerset Cricket Club members were given a helping hand towards education with funds received from the Clyde Bass Scholarship Golf Tournament held earlier this year. Jazz Rattery Smith, Greg Mabry, Joshua Gilbert, Justin Donowa, and Ross Tafari Burrows all received $2,000 towards their education.
Looking at the weather for the first day of 2015, we are expecting partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies, a chance of brief light showers. Winds will be north-northeasterly, light to moderate, backing northwesterly, light by noon, then variable and light by evening. We are anticipating a high near 70 and a low near 63. This weather report is a courtesy of the Bermuda Weather Service. Thanks for watching VSB News Online for this year's Eve, Wednesday, December 31st. On behalf of the management and staff of Defense Broadcasting, I'm Charles Webb. Wish you a safe and a happy new year.